you look at that. Boom. Alright guys, so I wanted to film a Q&A, so I wanted you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, and I'm gonna read them now. I've kind of been putting this video off because I just feel like I've had a lot of shit to do, which is just my fault, honestly. So that's just kind of why I haven't uploaded in a while. The past week I haven't uploaded, it's just because I honestly just had a lot of things to do, and I still kind of do. Let's get into these questions. The first question I have is Finasteride update. Dosage, side effect, how long you've been taking it for, etc. So basically just the whole gist on Finasteride. Now, if you guys do or don't know, I do take Finasteride, and if you don't know what Finasteride is, it is a hair supplement that's usually given to people who are like balding or, you know, they're going bald. I'm prescribed it, and I take 1 pill a day. I don't know if it's milligram or not, but I take 1, we'll say milligram a day, and I have not experienced any side effects whatsoever at all. I haven't experienced low sex drive. I have not experienced anything else that even could come with it. And I've been taking it for, I'd say around maybe in between 5 and 7 months now. 8 if I'm really pushing it, but I doubt it. Probably like in between 5 and 7. I started taking Finasteride because, I mean, here's my hairline. My hairline's not bad by any means. I mean, if anything, it doesn't even look like it's receding. But the reason that I decided to start taking Finasteride is because my dad is bald, both of his brothers are bald, my grandma is starting to bald. Their dad was also bald, so my grandma and grandpa are bald, my dad and all his brothers are bald. And it doesn't really actually just come down to your mom's like granddad. That's just like a myth. I mean, it's completely random if you're gonna go bald or not. So the reason I started taking it is because it's not like I really have a sign of hair loss, but just knowing the history in my family and how crazy the balding and like just losing hair is in my family, I never really knew when it was going to strike, so I figured now is a great time to start Finasteride to hold on to as much hair as I can for as long as I can while I'm young. And it's not that I'm recommending anyone to do that or to not do it. It's just me telling you guys why I did it myself, and I don't want that to influence you in any way, shape, or form. But I do know men don't notice balding until like 20 to 40% of their hair is already lost. So if I were you watching this video, if I were to give advice, I don't know if it's Finasteride or minoxidil or anything that you would decide to do, but what I do know is if you're 18 to 21 and you haven't started trying to take care of your hair, I would, if you want to keep your hair as long as you can. So yeah, that's an update. I have no side effects, just taking I think 1 milligram a day, and I've been taking it for about 6 to 7 months, and everything's going great, and my hair does feel a little bit thicker than it used to. So yeah, Finasteride is just going well, and it doesn't really feel like anything's changed whatsoever at all. What kind of sleeper are you? Side, back, or stomach? So I sleep on my stomach, but I elevate my knee upwards. So I sleep on my stomach, and I don't sleep with a pillow for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like for the past 4 years, I just sleep on my arm, and I have one knee like elevated up, and like I'm on my stomach, if that makes sense. So that's how I sleep. And I don't have any hip problems. I don't have any like problems whatsoever at all. I mean, my neck doesn't ever hurt. So I mean, the sleeping position's fine until I experience some problems with that sleep position. I guess I'll put in some effort to change it, but for now, it's like the comfiest position to me ever, and that's how I always end up falling asleep. I mean, I either do it to myself or I roll over to Erin's side and do that position like on Erin and go to bed on her. So yeah, that's how I sleep. What reps and sets did you do to get your bench and squat so strong? So there's not a designated rep range and set range that I'm doing for my bench or squat. It's just whatever my coach gives me, and you know, it varies a lot. The reason I want to answer this question is because I want to give a tip on how to get strong. So if you want to get stronger in the gym, the dumbest, most immature, if I guess is the word for use, is maxing out all the time. Like, even if it's every 2 weeks, and you max out, you are literally just resetting your progress in a way. Like, let's say you have 225 for a set of 5, and it's at RPE 11. That doesn't actually exist, right? RPE 10. RPE 11 was over-exaggerative, just saying like you literally could not have done another rep if your life depended on it. But let's say you have a set of 5, 225, and that's RPE 10 to you. In your head, you're telling yourself, okay, I have 5 sets of 5 today, and I'm capable, like my body is capable of doing 225. And so you make your ego come in before your own head, and you go, I'm gonna do 210 today. Because realistically, my 225 was at RPE 10, but 210 is like a good weight. But in reality, by your 4th or 5th set, I'd make the assumption that your reps are going to start turning into RPE 10 or like 9. And the way you want to build strength is building a very strong base at RPE 7. So instead, if you just drop your ego and go, okay, I'm going to do 190 instead. So by my 5th set, I can kind of articulate that it'll be still around RPE 7. My first, 1 to 3rd set might be a little easy, but when I finally reach that 4th to 5th set, it's going to start hitting that RPE 6 to 8 range, whatever it may have been for you. And you want to build there, so then the next time you have a 5x5, you can move up by like 5 pounds. And then if you get stronger, you progressive overload, you can still manage to hit that at RPE 7 to 8 to 6 by your last 2 sets. And like, it's about, if it makes sense, I hope I'm not confusing anyone, get stronger, build your strength off of RPE 7. Like, build your strength off of gaining strength whilst being able to do more reps, but you're not pushing it. It's called like staying in the pocket. Like, you want to stay in the pocket and you want to be able to execute a lift using only like, 80% of your full strength potential, and you want to build a base off of there and progressive overload at that certain RPE. In summary, you want to get strong, don't fucking max out, ever. Like, literally, just get stronger off of not maxing out. Favorite gym of all time, it has to be Old School Iron in Cleveland, Ohio, or it has to be probably Super Fitness, my first ever gym I went to because of just nostalgic purposes, in Toledo, Ohio. How are you doing, bro? Seriously, this is a good question. I like when you guys ask how I'm doing. Like, it makes me feel like very wholesome feeling. So I've actually been doing good. I just feel like I have a lot of things to do and I'm trying to get them done. Like, I want to get a bed frame and I want to like clean up and I want to do a bunch of these things basically, and it's just hard to do them all at once and it's like almost impossible. So I've just been trying to take healthy doses every day of just getting a few things done and then a few things done until finally they're inevitably all done. But other than just me feeling like I'm very busy or I just have to do a lot of things, like there's a lot of things on my plate, I honestly feel like I'm genuinely in a very good state right now. Training's been going well. You guys have been really supporting the channel. I mean, the last video got 10,000 likes, and if you made it this far, please drop a like in the video. It helps out a lot. Can we get like 5,000 likes in this video? I'd appreciate it. So, last video got like 10K likes. I was like, holy fucking shit, I didn't even expect that. I didn't even know we were capable of doing that. Like, it just, like, seeing that number, I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever gotten like 10K likes on a vlog. So it really like shows me how much you guys support the videos and how much you love the content, and I honestly appreciate that a lot. So training's been going good, mental's been going good, my life's just been going good, and I'm enjoying the progress I've been making in life, and I'm glad that, I'm in the position I'm in. I just feel thankful, I feel good, and I feel stress-free in a weird way, even though I kind of shouldn't feel that way. So yeah, thank you for asking how I'm doing. I'm doing good, thank you. How do you look like you are not sweating at all in your videos even while working out? It's because I just don't sweat for some reason. Like, I remember I did a 700 or like 800 rep leg day, and I did like 20 sets of squat or something, or like 10 sets of 20 reps on squat, and the only place I was sweating at is my armpits. I didn't have any back sweat, I didn't have any chest sweat, and like, I'm gonna tell you one thing, I was definitely fucking tired. Do you think you've peaked as an influencer, or are you still climbing? I mean, definitely I don't think I've peaked whatsoever at all. I mean, there's still a lot of things I want to do later on, and for the future, and I mean, my followers have been going up every day and everything, so I don't think I've necessarily peaked whatsoever at all. I definitely think I'm still climbing and there's a lot of things to come. But I am enjoying like every step of it, and I definitely can see like a lot of potential even in myself to this day, like, and that what I could do better. So no, definitely not. I think there's definitely, I don't even know if there is really a peak to an influencer, honestly. If you keep getting followers, then fuck it, right? When you feel like giving up the most, what is it that keeps you going? I couldn't fucking read that for some reason, but that's basically it. I never necessarily feel the feeling of like giving up entirely. I mean, I don't really have that mentality just in my nature, but I do feel like I don't want to do something, like not entirely give it up, but like, the half days I don't want to go to the gym or I don't want to edit a video like lately. But what keeps me going and what keeps me even semi-consistent is just knowing how many people like kind of look up to me in a sense, and I don't want to just portray myself in a negative manner, and I don't want to just leave you guys hanging. I don't want to, skip my workouts and feel like shit, look like shit, and just honestly what keeps me going is just knowing how much you guys do love the videos or like my content in general, or Aaron keeps me going, the dogs keep me going, just my life in general. I feel like when people want to give up, it's because they don't really have a lot to feel responsible for. I feel like when you don't really have a lot of responsibility in your life, it kind of makes you feel like you lack a purpose. That's why the dogs have really helped me a lot. I have to take them out a few times a day, feed them, and play with them, give them mental stimulation, physical stimulation, etc. So even my dogs in general, just having them as a responsibility, along with obviously the apartment, my car, etc. Aaron, having those responsibilities really keeps me going because it gives me a purpose. So if you feel like you're giving up, it could be because you just don't have much of a purpose. You could be living at your parents' house, your room is yours, but it's not really yours. It's kind of owned by your parents. You don't really feel like it's yours. You don't have any animals. You don't have a girlfriend. You don't have a lot of things, like you don't have your own car. You might and I'm not saying you need any of those things to feel responsible. It could be as minimal as even just having a hobby. But I think you should definitely strive to have something to take care of, whether it be small or big. Even a pet fish, I don't know. Just have something that you need to take care of, and it truly will make you feel better. Talk a little on mental health and how it can affect you. A lot of people need this. I remember in December of 2021, so not that long ago, just a few months ago, that was the worst month of my life. My dad got diagnosed with cancer, so I flew to Ohio to see him before his surgery, ended up getting COVID. And even if I had a common cold, it's just, you don't want to give someone any sort of sickness, like even light or big, because I know a lot of people are like, COVID is XYZ, but, I didn't even want to give my father a cold because it's like, if you have a cancer surgery coming up and he had to get half of his stomach removed, I can't have him sick. So I definitely was sick. I had a fever. I flew there and I got a 2-week visit, and I was so sick and so unmotivated that I lost 15 pounds. I dropped down to 179 pounds, which was the lowest I've been since I was 17. I rebounded back. I'm 195 now again, but that happened, and then I ended up just going to Ohio just to see my father, and I couldn't even see him because I got sick, and I was bedridden at Aaron's house the whole time. Didn't want to train, couldn't upload any YouTube videos. I didn't have any necessary equipment to do that, and my car got robbed, and Steph and Gabe, my 2 friends, stuff got stolen out of it too, and it was just pretty much the worst month of my life. And I remember feeling such fucking shit. That was literally some of the worst time I've ever had in a month. And I do think, in my opinion, and I know some people will be like, oh, that's not that, I've had this happen to me. It's I'm not comparing. I'm sure there's people going through it much worse than me, which helped me think, helped me get through that, knowing that people will go through it worse than me. But to my standard, that was just a very bad month. And I remember I was very, very down, but it definitely affected me a lot, and I didn't want to do much. I didn't even want to fucking post anything, but it's just about your environment. I think if you surround yourself with the right people in the right place and get yourself out there, it's definitely going to help you a lot, because once I came home, it's everything snapped and connected, and I just felt so much better just be in the setting that I'm in, that I put myself in, have time by myself, be at my apartment and just do things by my own and just do my job, basically. That was important. So I feel like I said, it comes back to the responsibility thing. I feel like a lot of people just have so much time to themselves that they don't even need, you're not even stimulating your mind whatsoever at all. So you're inevitably going to think about things that you shouldn't think about. So yeah, if you're ever going through anything, like I said, I think that's just a really important note for this video. Just, find something to take responsibility of. Why don't you train hard? So in my videos, it might sometimes seem and portray like I'm not training hard, or it might just not seem like I'm training hard, but in reality, it's I have a camera on, and I vlog in the gym, and it's hard to entertain with the camera on and have a serious workout at the same time. But I train probably about 3.7 times harder when the camera is not on. I train much harder, and I'm much more focused, and I'm in honestly a better mood when I'm training when I don't have a camera on. So yeah, in my videos, it's a little hard to train really hard, because I have to entertain, and I have to take breaks, and I have to, hey Aaron, can you come record me? So when the camera's not on, it's night and day. Are you interested in joining a gaming team, basically, something like FaZe Clan? I honestly would join FaZe. I would love to join FaZe. I've been a fan of FaZe for a very long time, but it's not really something I think is possible. I don't really think I could do that, because it's not a goal of mine. I'm not every night and day I'm making content because I want to join FaZe, I was for example Gymshark when I did. But if the opportunity for some reason came up and they emailed me, hey, you want to join FaZe? I'd be fuck yeah. As long as it didn't get in the way of anything else I was doing, sure. Obviously I'd love to be a part of FaZe. But not the competitive gaming team. I don't think I'm good enough. I feel like you have to play literally hours on end, 12 hours a day gaming to be a pro, and I just don't have the time to do that. I don't think I could be a pro. I could be, just there's no way I would do that. How did you meet Gabe and Steph? So I met Steph at the Arnold Classic 2020. I guess I'm just super not open to like making new friends, if that makes sense. So I mean, I've told you guys about that. I'm just not good at making friends. So I kind of like wasn't fond of Steph. And then like a year went by, and like Aiden was gonna, my old friend Aiden was gonna come in with Steph, and then he ended up like, something happened to Aiden's house, and Steph couldn't come there, so he went to Joe's, and then Joe and Steph hang out, and then I hung out with him, and I was like, oh, Steph's actually really cool and really funny. And then like as time went on, we started talking more and started playing games together, and like I invited him over again to LA, and like it was great. Honestly, so that's just how I met Steph. I basically met him through my old buddy Aiden, and I met Gabe because Gabe's girlfriend Gabby is friends with Aaron. And while they were here, Aaron said, I want to hang out with my friend Gabby, but her boyfriend Gabe's coming. And I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm literally going to hate it. And I met him like, wow, this is like the first person in a very long time that I really, really enjoyed his company. And I strive to be his friend. So we ended up being friends, and that's how we met. Favorite sneaker of all time? So my favorite shoe of all time is the Nike Prestos, because they are just so absurdly comfy, and I think they look very stylish, but like the comfort is just insane. Like you give it a week, I mean, even when you put them on, they need to be completely not even broken in whatsoever at all. They're still comfy, but like the fact that they're that comfy, not broken in, give it a week, most comfy sneaker of all time, and they're my favorite, and they look very aesthetic in my opinion. What keeps you up at night? I guess I just think about, lately what's been keeping me up is like, I think about how fast time flies. Like I honestly feel like me and all the boys were just on Gymshark like yesterday, and you know, I just remember going to New Jersey, and like Zach and Anthony and I were all friends. We didn't even have any followers, and just I remember being in high school, and just it feels like it was it feels like it was like yesterday, and it's just crazy that like time flies that fast, and honestly I feel like it's got even faster now that I'm not in school, because I wasn't having any fun in school, so time was going by slower, I felt like. But now that I'm having so much fun in my life, it's like even worse. So yeah, I guess lately it's just been how fast time's flying. Lonnie is clawing at the chair. That's going to wrap up the Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was more chill, little laid back Q&A because it's pretty late at night and I'm just relaxing, to be honest. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you guys so much. Genuinely, sincerely, you watching this video, whatever your name is, you know, fucking Andrew, John, fucking Matthew, Matt, Joshua, fucking Oliver, Joseph, whatever your fucking name is, right? I appreciate you, okay? So yeah, if you're watching this video, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.